Imagine this. The music world was thrown into absolute chaos when whispers started circulating about a secret so shocking, so scandalous, that fans couldn't even wrap their heads around it. We're talking about Brandy, yes, the Brandy walking into a scene that no sister should ever have to see with her own eyes. According to insiders, Brandy allegedly caught none other than her own brother, Ray J, tangled up in a moment that can only be described as explosive with Beyoncé. Yes, you heard that right. Queen Bey herself. Now, just let that sink in. The woman hailed as music royalty, the wife of Jay-Z, and the mother of a billion-dollar empire, allegedly caught up in the most jaw-dropping betrayal imaginable. Reports claim Brandy was so stunned she could barely process what she was looking at, and the tension in that room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. But here's where it gets even wilder. Word on the street says a tape exists. A tape that could blow this entire situation wide open. A tape that powerful people are scrambling to keep buried. And if you think this is just another Hollywood rumor, buckle up, because what we're about to uncover will shake the foundation of music's first families. The story begins on what was supposed to be an ordinary night in Los Angeles. Brandy, who has always played the role of the protective older sister, had grown increasingly concerned about Ray J's lifestyle. Friends whispered that Ray was back to his old ways: late nights, reckless decisions, and surrounding himself with people who didn't always have his best interests at heart. Brandy, being the family anchor, decided to check up on him unannounced. She thought she was walking into another one of Ray's infamous house parties, the kind that ends up with broken furniture and wild gossip the next morning. But instead, she walked straight into a nightmare. According to an insider close to the Norwood family, Brandy used her spare key to let herself into Ray J's Beverly Hills mansion. The lights were dim, the music low, and the house eerily quiet, too quiet for Ray J. She thought maybe he had finally turned in early. But as she moved through the sleek, modern hallway, she heard muffled laughter. A soft, sultry giggle that immediately raised suspicion. That didn't sound like one of Ray's random friends, the insider claimed. That sounded familiar. Brandy followed the sound, her heart pounding faster with each step. When she pushed open the bedroom door, she froze. There, tangled in silk sheets and unmistakably close, was Ray J. And Beyoncé. Yes, Beyoncé Giselle Knowles Carter, the same woman married to Jay-Z, the same woman adored worldwide for her talent and grace, Ray. Brandy's voice cracked with disbelief, her eyes darting between her brother and the superstar beside him. Beyoncé reportedly pulled the covers up quickly, her face flushed with embarrassment. Ray J, on the other hand, leaned back with that notorious smirk, as if he didn't fully grasp the gravity of the situation. "Bran, it's not what it looks like," Ray stammered. But the damage was already done. The tension in that room was described as suffocating. Brandy, visibly shaking, demanded answers. "How could you do this, Ray? And Beyoncé? Of all people? Do you realize what this means? Do you know who you're married to? Do you know who she's married to?" Beyoncé allegedly tried to speak, whispering, "Brandy, please, let me explain," but Brandy wasn't having it. She stormed out, her phone in hand, threatening to call Jay-Z directly. That's when things took a darker turn. According to whispers from the circle, Ray J lunged forward, begging her not to involve anyone else. "You don't understand, Bran. There's more to this than you know," he pleaded. What could possibly justify this betrayal? That's the question fans and family alike have been asking ever since. But here's where it spirals into a whole new level of drama. Word is someone else was in the house that night. Someone with a camera. The insider claims that a close friend of Ray J's had been lurking in the background, phone in hand, capturing the entire heated confrontation. Not just the discovery, but the arguments, the tears, the shouting, all of it. "That's the tape everyone's talking about," the source said. "It's not just Ray and Beyoncé together, it's Brandy walking in, it's the fallout, it's everything." And in Hollywood, nothing stays buried for long. As soon as whispers of the tape reached the industry's inner circles, panic set in. Jay-Z's camp allegedly went into full damage control mode. Lawyers were called. Phones were confiscated. Money was offered under the table to buy silence. But like wildfire, the rumors spread, leaving fans stunned and social media ablaze. Twitter lit up with hashtags like #BeyonceScandal and #RayJexposed. Some fans refused to believe it, calling it fabricated drama meant to tear down music's power couple. Others, however, pointed out Ray J's history with controversial tapes, asking if he could leak one before, what's stopping him from doing it again? Meanwhile, Brandy herself was said to be torn. As much as she wanted to protect her brother, she couldn't ignore the betrayal she had witnessed with her own eyes. Reports say she broke down in tears that night, calling a close friend and saying, "This could destroy everything. Not just my family, but theirs too." Beyoncé, on the other hand, has remained silent publicly, but insiders claim she was desperate to keep the situation under wraps. She allegedly begged Brandy not to go public, swearing that what happened was a moment of weakness and that it had nothing to do with love. But Brandy, caught between loyalty and morality, didn't know what to believe. And here's the twist that makes the story even more explosive. Some say Brandy isn't the only one who knows. A few days after the incident, rumors began swirling that Solange, Beyoncé's fiercely protective sister, caught wind of the scandal. And if you remember that infamous elevator incident with Jay-Z, you know Solange doesn't play when it comes to family. Solange is ready to go to war, an anonymous source close to the Knowles family revealed. She confronted Beyoncé in private, asking, "Is this true? Did you really betray Jay like that with HIM of all people?" Beyoncé broke down crying, but whether she admitted the truth or not remains unclear. Fans are now speculating that the tape isn't just being hidden, it's being hunted. Powerful names in the industry are allegedly involved, each with their own reasons to keep it locked away. Some believe Jay-Z himself has already seen it, and the silence from both his and Beyoncé's camp is nothing more than strategic planning before the inevitable bomb drops. But let's be clear, this isn't just about a scandalous affair. This is about reputations, billion-dollar brands, and family legacies. The Norwoods and the Carters are two dynasties in the entertainment world, and this alleged betrayal threatens to shatter both. Fans are asking, will Jay-Z forgive Beyoncé if the tape goes public? Will Brandy ever look at her brother the same way again? And most importantly, what happens if Ray J, the man notorious for turning private moments into public spectacles, decides to let the tape see the light of day? As one insider dramatically put it, if that footage ever leaks, it won't just break the internet. It will break families, and this is only the beginning. The night after the shocking discovery, Brandy couldn't sleep. Insiders say she replayed the moment over and over again in her head, haunted by the sight of her brother and Beyoncé together. For Brandy, this wasn't just about betrayal, it was about the collapse of trust, the collapse of family, and the possibility that the entire music industry would crumble under the weight of this scandal. According to one close friend, Brandy was hysterical. She kept saying, "How am I supposed to carry this? How am I supposed to look Jay in the face knowing what I know?" The friend revealed her loyalty to her brother was fighting with her conscience, and it was tearing her apart. Meanwhile, Ray J was in full defense mode. The next morning, he reportedly called Brandy dozens of times, begging her not to expose him. In one heated voicemail, he allegedly said, "Bran, you don't get it. This isn't just some random hookup. Beyoncé came to me. She needed me. She was vulnerable. If this gets out, it's not just me who's finished, it's her too. Do you really want to be the one to burn down her world? But Brandy wasn't swayed. Sources say she called him back and shouted, "Don't you dare put this on me, Ray. You crossed the line. You're playing with fire, and when it burns, we'll all be standing in the flames." The conflict between the siblings quickly began to spread. Word leaked to their parents, Willie and Sonia Norwood, who were reportedly devastated. Sonia, always the strong-willed matriarch, allegedly confronted Ray J in tears. "Do you realize what you've done? You've not only embarrassed this family, you've put us in danger. Do you know what Jay-Z is capable of if this reaches him?" Ray J's response, according to insiders, was chillingly casual. "Relax, Mom. Jay-Z isn't going to touch me. He knows I've got the leverage. He knows I've got the tape." That one sentence sent shivers down the spines of everyone who heard it. If Ray J truly had a tape, it wasn't just a matter of scandal, it was blackmail. Pure and simple. And here's where the story takes an even darker twist. Allegedly, within 48 hours of Brandy's discovery, a mysterious figure contacted her anonymously. The voice on the other end of the line said, "We know what you saw. Keep quiet or there will be consequences." Brandy was reportedly shaken to her core, unsure if the call came from someone in Jay-Z's camp, Beyoncé's, or even Ray J's shady circle of friends. While Brandy struggled with fear, Beyoncé was waging her own private battle. Sources close to her claim she locked herself away in her Los Angeles home, crying and panicking over what might come next. Beyoncé doesn't cry easily, the insider revealed. But this broke her. She kept repeating, if Jay finds out, everything we built will be gone. To make matters worse, Solange was said to be furious. She allegedly stormed into Beyoncé's house and confronted her head-on. The confrontation was described as explosive. Solange, tell me the truth, bae. Did you or did you not let that man touch you? Beyoncé, sobbing, it was a mistake. I was weak. I wasn't thinking. Solange, a mistake? With Ray J? Do you know what you've risked? You've risked Blue, you've risked Jay, you've risked everything. Neighbors reportedly overheard shouting, followed by the sound of something shattering inside the house. Whether it was a glass, a vase, or something else, the fight was loud enough that security had to intervene. Fans, meanwhile, were spiraling online. Theories flooded TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Some insisted the tape was already circulating in private circles, while others speculated the whole thing was a smear campaign against Beyoncé. One viral comment read, "It's giving Ray J trying to ruin another icon's life for clout. First Kim, now Bey. History repeats itself." But then came another shocking claim, this time from someone who alleged to have seen the tape. A self-proclaimed Hollywood insider posted anonymously on a gossip forum, writing, "I can confirm the tape is real. I've seen snippets. It's not just Ray and Beyoncé in bed, it's Brandy busting in, screaming at them, and Beyoncé breaking down in tears. The whole thing is messy, and if it leaks, it'll destroy both families." The post immediately went viral, racking up thousands of views within hours. Screenshots were shared everywhere, and fans couldn't stop talking about it. Suddenly, what seemed like an unbelievable rumor was starting to feel real. Behind closed doors, Jay-Z was reportedly already aware. Sources close to ROC Nation claim that Jay's silence isn't ignorance, it's calculation. Jay knows, the source said. He's already spoken to his lawyers, his team, and his family. Right now, he's deciding whether to confront Beyoncé privately or make an example out of her publicly. Brandy, however, wasn't staying silent. She confided in a close circle of friends that she felt trapped. "If I keep quiet, I'm protecting Ray. If I speak out, I'm betraying Beyoncé and risking Jay's wrath. Either way, I lose," she reportedly cried. Ray J, on the other hand, seemed almost gleeful about the chaos. He was overheard boasting to a friend at a nightclub, "They all think they can control me, but I hold the cards. If they push me too far, the world will see everything." And then another twist. Some believe Beyoncé wasn't the one being blackmailed. Some whisper that SHE was the one who allowed the tape to be filmed intentionally. The theory goes that Beyoncé wanted leverage over Jay-Z, flipping the script in case his rumored infidelities ever resurfaced. "She's smarter than people give her credit for," one gossip blogger wrote. What if this whole thing is Beyoncé's way of securing her own power in the marriage? Whether that theory holds water or not, one thing was clear: emotions were at an all-time high and the families involved were splintering. Sunny Norwood reportedly begged Brandy to stay out of it for the sake of their family's safety. Meanwhile, Solange was allegedly pushing Beyoncé to come clean to Jay before someone else did. Fans continued to speculate wildly, with some even staging online investigations, dissecting Beyoncé's recent public appearances for signs of stress. One clip from a recent performance showed Beyoncé looking distant, almost robotic, and fans flooded the comments. She knows the world is about to find out. Look at her eyes, she's not okay. The pressure was unbearable. And all the while, that elusive tape remained hidden in the shadows. Waiting as the days passed, tension across Hollywood reached a fever pitch. Everyone in the industry was whispering about the alleged betrayal, but no one dared say it publicly. The silence was deafening. And that silence only fueled speculation that something catastrophic was brewing behind closed doors. Jay-Z, known for his calm and calculated demeanor, had reportedly gone quiet. Those closest to him said he was observing, planning, and waiting for the right moment. But insiders claim that beneath his composed surface, anger was boiling. One source put it bluntly, "Jay is furious. You don't embarrass him like this. Not publicly, not privately, not ever." The power dynamics were shifting in ways no one had anticipated. On one side, Ray J seemed almost untouchable, holding the rumored tape like a weapon. On the other, Beyoncé, America's golden superstar, was being forced into silence, terrified of the destruction that could follow. And in the middle stood Brandy, guilt-ridden, heartbroken, and carrying the weight of a secret too heavy for one person. It was only a matter of time before something snapped. According to reports, Jay-Z finally confronted Beyoncé in a tense, late-night showdown at their Bel Air mansion. The fight, described by staff as one of the loudest we've ever heard, rattled the entire state. Voices echoed through the halls, and witnesses claimed they heard Beyoncé crying and Jay shouting words no one imagined he would ever say to his wife. Jay-Z, tell me the truth. Did you do it? Did you betray me with him? Beyoncé, sobbing, it was a mistake, Sean. I wasn't thinking. I didn't mean for it to happen. Jay-Z, with Ray J, Beyoncé, do you understand what you've done? You've humiliated me, our family, our kids. And you did it with the one man who lives off destroying people's reputations. At that moment, Beyoncé reportedly dropped to her knees, begging for forgiveness. Please, Sean, please. Don't let this ruin us. Don't let him win. But Jay wasn't swayed. Insiders claim he stormed out, slamming the door so hard that security guards rushed to check the commotion. He allegedly drove off into the night, leaving Beyoncé in tears. Terrified that their marriage, the empire they had built together, was on the verge of collapse. Meanwhile, Brandy was struggling in her own home. She confided to a friend that she was afraid someone would leak her name as the whistleblower. If Jay knows I walked in, if the world finds out I was the one who saw it, I'll be dragged into the middle of a war one can't survive, she reportedly said. Ray J, however, was thriving in the chaos. Paparazzi caught him leaving a Hollywood nightclub, grinning from ear to ear. When asked by reporters about the scandal, he smirked and said, "Y'all know me, I stay in the headlines. Keep watching." That one comment set social media ablaze, with fans debating whether he was taunting the public or subtly confirming the rumors. But then came the bombshell that no one expected. A major gossip site claimed to have received still images from the alleged tape. Blurry, grainy, but enough to suggest something was there. One image appeared to show Brandy with her hands on her face in shock. Another seemed to depict a figure resembling Beyoncé wrapped in sheets. The internet erupted. Proof. Internet erupted. Proof. Some fans screamed. Fake, others argued. The images spread like wildfire, even as lawyers from all sides rushed to shut them down. Jay-Z's camp went into overdrive. According to industry insiders, his legal team was on high alert, issuing cease and desist letters and threatening massive lawsuits to anyone even mentioning the alleged footage. But the harder they tried to suppress it, the louder the whispers grew. And then, another twist, Beyoncé reportedly called Brandy personally. The phone call was said to be emotional, raw, and desperate. Beyoncé, Brandy, please. You saw me at my weakest moment. Don't let this define me. Don't let him use this against me. I need you to stand by me, not against me. Brandy, hesitant. Bae, you're asking me to lie to myself. I saw what I saw. And the world. They're going to find out sooner or later. Beyoncé, if you love me as a sister in this industry, if you care about family, then help me bury this, please, for the sake of my children. That plea shook Brandy to her core. She was torn between the truth she knew and the loyalty Beyoncé was begging for. But deep down, she feared the decision might already be out of her hands because Ray J had his own plan. Insiders claim he was in talks with a shady media outlet, teasing the possibility of selling the tape for an astronomical amount. Ray knows this is his golden ticket, one insider revealed. He's not thinking about family. He's not thinking about consequences. He's thinking about the payday and the attention. Fans were shocked but not surprised. Ray J's past spoke for itself, and the internet was quick to point out the parallels to his infamous scandal with Kim Kardashian. History repeats itself, one viral tweet read, "First Kim, now Beyoncé." Ray J's legacy is literally destroying women. The fallout began to ripple across the industry. Brands associated with Beyoncé reportedly called emergency meetings. Endorsement deals worth millions were suddenly at risk. One executive was quoted saying, "If this tape goes public, the image we built around her will take a hit we may never recover from." And still, Jay-Z's silence loomed like a storm cloud. Some fans speculated he was plotting revenge. Others believed he might use the scandal to his advantage, flipping it into art like he had done with past infidelities. But one thing was certain: his marriage was hanging by a thread, and the public was waiting to see which way it would snap, adding fuel to the fire. Solange reportedly confronted Ray J at a private industry party. The confrontation nearly turned physical, with witnesses saying Solange had to be pulled back by security. "You're a snake," she allegedly screamed. "You won't ruin her, not again." Ray J, cool as ever, smirked and replied, "Too late, sis. The damage is done." The drama was no longer just a scandal, it was a war. By the end of the week, hashtags like hashtag pray for Beyoncé, hashtag JKnows, and hashtag RayJT He Destroyer were trending worldwide. Fans split into factions, some defending Beyoncé, some dragging her name through the mud, and others waiting eagerly for the tape to leak. The world was holding its breath, and for good reason, because the tape, according to the latest whispers, was about to surface. The tension finally reached a breaking point. When whispers turned into screams across the internet, the tape was about to leak. For days, fans had been bombarded with cryptic tweets from anonymous accounts, grainy stills and rumors swirling in every gossip forum imaginable. But on a quiet Sunday afternoon, a countdown clock suddenly appeared on a shady gossip site with the words, "The truth drops in 72 hours." The entire music world froze. Was this it? Was the most explosive scandal in history about to go public? Brandy, by now emotionally shattered, reportedly locked herself away in her Calabasas home. Friends close to her revealed that she was terrified the world would learn she was the one who discovered everything. She kept crying, saying, "I never wanted this to go this far. I never wanted to be dragged into this circus," one confidant said. But the circus was already in full swing. Paparazzi camped outside her house, shouting questions. "Brandy, did you really catch Ray J and Beyoncé? Is the tape real? Are you protecting your brother or Beyoncé?" Brandy didn't answer. Instead, she sat inside with her phone buzzing, nonstop texts from Beyoncé begging for silence, calls from Ray J taunting her, and even messages from Jay-Z's people warning her to stay quiet. She was stuck in the middle of a storm with no way out. Meanwhile, Ray J was enjoying every second. Witnesses say he strutted into a Hollywood club that night wearing sunglasses indoors, flanked by an entourage of women, and shouted to the crowd, "Y'all ready for the truth?" Phones shot up instantly, and within minutes, the internet exploded with speculation that Ray was confirming the leak. But while Ray was gloating, Beyoncé was allegedly on the verge of collapse. Insiders claim she hadn't eaten in days, had barely slept, and was constantly pacing her home in fear. She kept saying, "If the world sees that tape, it's over. My family, my career, my legacy, it's over," a source revealed. That's when Jay-Z made his move. According to insiders, Jay called an emergency meeting with his inner circle of lawyers, PR teams, and security. The goal: neutralize Ray J before the countdown hit zero. Jay isn't just a rapper, he's a businessman, a mogul. He knows how to handle enemies, and Ray just painted a target on his back. One source close to ROC Nation explained. The plan, however, wasn't just legal. Some whisper that Jay reached out to figures beyond the music industry, people who could make sure that tape never saw the light of day, no matter the cost. One anonymous source even claimed, "Jay doesn't just play defense. If Ray pushes him, he'll play offense, and Ray has no idea what storm he's about to walk into." But Ray J wasn't intimidated. In fact, he doubled down. Posting a cryptic Instagram story, he wrote, "Sometimes the truth hurts, but it sets people free." TikTok. Fans lost their minds, flooding his comments with fire emojis, accusations, and threats. Beyoncé, desperate to stop the madness, reportedly reached out to Brandy again. This time, the conversation was more heated than ever. Beyoncé, "Brandy, you have to speak publicly. Deny what you saw. Say it was a misunderstanding. If you don't, I'm finished." Brandy, "Bae, I can't lie to the world. I can't carry that weight for you. I love you, but this isn't my battle, it's yours." Beyoncé, "Don't you see? If this comes out, it's not just my life. It's my children's, it's my legacy. Please, Brandy, I'm begging you." Brandy reportedly broke down after that call, torn between protecting Beyoncé's empire and staying true to herself. Her family begged her to remain silent, but her conscience was eating her alive. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any wilder, Solange stepped in once more. According to a source, she confronted Jay directly, demanding to know if he planned to stand by Beyoncé or let the scandal destroy her. The argument allegedly grew so heated that Solange accused Jay of being a hypocrite. "You've cheated on her before. You humiliated her. And now you're ready to throw her away over one mistake. Don't forget you're no saint, Sean." Jay, however, wasn't moved. He reportedly told her coldly, "This isn't about a mistake. This is about disrespect. And she disrespected me in the worst way possible." Fans speculated endlessly online. Was Jay planning to divorce Beyoncé? Would he go public? Or was he secretly working behind the scenes to save his marriage and bury Ray J at the same time? As the countdown ticked closer to zero, tension skyrocketed. News outlets across the globe began running "what if" specials debating the fallout if the tape dropped. Experts predicted brand deals worth hundreds of millions could vanish overnight. Beyoncé's reputation as an untouchable icon could shatter. And Jay-Z's empire could be tarnished by association. But then came a twist no one saw coming. With just 24 hours left on the countdown clock, the site hosting the timer suddenly went offline, vanished, all links dead, all posts deleted as if it had never existed. Fans were stunned, scrambling for answers. Did Jay shut it down? One user tweeted. Or did Ray pull the plug himself for more clout? Ray J quickly added fuel to the fire, posting a smug selfie with the caption, "Business moves." Y'all ain't ready. The internet lost its mind once again, with theories ranging from Ray selling the tape privately for millions, to Jay buying it outright to bury it forever. Brandy, however, wasn't celebrating. Sources say she collapsed into tears of relief, but deep down she knew this wasn't over. Even if the site is gone, even if the tape never leaks, the damage is already done, she reportedly told a friend. The trust is broken, the families are shattered, and none of us will ever look at each other the same way again. Beyoncé remained out of the public eye, fueling even more speculation. Every time she skipped an appearance or avoided posting on Instagram, fans assumed it was connected to the scandal. One viral TikTok read, "The silence is louder than the music. She knows we know." Jay-Z, meanwhile, made his first public appearance since the rumors exploded. Standing on stage at a charity gala, he gave a speech about truth, betrayal, and power. Though he never named names, his words sent chills through the room. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought in public. They're fought in silence, behind closed doors. But make no mistake, the truth always comes out. The audience erupted, unsure if he was talking about his marriage, the industry, or directly to Ray J and Ray J. He was spotted boarding a private jet, laughing with friends, champagne in hand. Reporters shouted questions, but he ignored them, flashing a peace sign before disappearing into the sky. No one knows where he was headed. But one thing was certain, the game wasn't over. Because if history's taught us anything about Ray J, it's this: he never leaves the spotlight quietly. The tape might still exist. The truth might still be out there. And as one insider chillingly put it, the scandal isn't finished. It's only just beginning. As the dust began to settle, or at least appear to Hollywood, insiders whispered that the war between the Norwoods and the Carters had only just begun. The sudden disappearance of the countdown clock didn't end the speculation. In fact, it fueled it even more. Fans flooded Twitter with theories. Jay bought the tape and buried it. Ray sold it to the highest. Bidder, we just haven't seen it yet. Beyoncé herself pulled the strings and shut it down. The uncertainty made the scandal even more electrifying. No one knew who was truly in control, and everyone was waiting for the next explosion. Behind the scenes, Brandy was left broken. She had tried to protect her brother, tried to protect Beyoncé, but in the end, she felt she had failed them both. A source close to her revealed she was considering leaving Los Angeles altogether. She told me, "I need to disappear. I can't walk into another industry event with these whispers following me. Every look feels like judgment. Every smile feels fake." Beyoncé, meanwhile, reportedly made a private vow. Whatever it took, the tape would never see daylight. Insiders claim she's now surrounded herself with some of the most powerful lawyers, PR strategists, and crisis managers in the business. Beyoncé knows her empire is on the line, the source explained. She's not just fighting for her marriage, she's fighting for her legacy, her children, her throne. But Jay-Z? He was eerily calm. Too calm. Friends say he had gone from fiery anger to icy calculation. Jay isn't the type to scream forever, one insider noted. He's the type to wait, to plan, and then strike when no one sees it coming. If Ray thinks this is over, he's in for a rude awakening. Ray J, however, was still basking in the spotlight. He couldn't resist. At yet another club appearance, he grabbed the microphone from the DJ booth and shouted, "Y'all want the truth? I am the truth. Without me, there's no scandal. Without me, there's no headlines. Remember that." The crowd erupted, phones recording every second, and once again, Ray J's name trended worldwide. But that night, whispers say Ray received a warning. A shadowy figure approached him outside the club, leaned in close, and said something that made his smile drop for the first time. "You're playing with giants. Keep pushing and you won't like the ending." Ray reportedly brushed it off publicly, but those who know him swear he went home shaken. The media frenzy didn't slow down. Morning talk shows debated the morality of the situation. Late-night hosts made jokes about Ray J once again holding America's secrets in a camera roll. Fans dissected every body language moment between Jay-Z and Beyoncé during rare public appearances. Every glance, every handhold, every forced smile was analyzed like a courtroom exhibit. And then came one more twist that sent fans spiraling. An anonymous hacker claimed online that they had accessed backup files from Ray J's cloud. They promised to release proof within days. Whether it was real or just another hoax, no one knew, but the threat reignited fears that the scandal wasn't buried after all. For Brandy, the pressure was unbearable. Friends say she sat in her living room, staring at her phone, debating whether to make a public statement. "I could end this," she reportedly whispered. "I could just go live, tell the world what happened, and let the chips fall where they may." But in the end, she stayed silent, paralyzed by the fear of destroying everything. Meanwhile, Solange's rage had not cooled. Rumors swirled that she was working behind the scenes to take Ray J down herself, calling in favors, rallying allies, and preparing for a personal showdown. "Solange is the wild card," one insider explained. "She doesn't care about money, lawyers, or PR. She cares about family. And if she thinks Beyoncé is being destroyed, she'd burn it all down to save her." The world watched and waited. Would the tape ever emerge? Would Jay leave Beyoncé or stand by her side? Would Ray J cash out or finally get crushed under the weight of the giants he was taunting? The truth for now remains buried in shadows. But one thing is certain, this scandal has left scars that will never fully heal. And that brings us to you. The viewer, you've just heard the most shocking, twisted, and unbelievable story shaking Hollywood to its core. But what do you believe? Do you think Brandy really caught Ray J and Beyoncé in bed? Do you think the tape exists, or is this all a carefully crafted illusion to keep us talking? And most importantly, if the tape does exist, who will be brave enough or reckless enough to finally let the world see it? Because make no mistake, if this tape ever leaks, it won't just break the internet. It will break families, it will break legacies, and it might just break the music industry as we know it does, so now it's your turn to weigh in. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Whose side are you on? Should Brandy have exposed what she saw, or should she have stayed silent? Should Jay-Z forgive Beyoncé, or is this betrayal too deep to heal? And what about Ray J, hero, villain, or just the ultimate chaos agent of Hollywood? If you were in Brandy's shoes, what would you have done? Before you go, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single update. Because trust me, this story isn't over, not by a long shot. And when the next chapter unfolds, you'll want to be here to witness every second of the drama. Until then, stay tuned. Stay watching. And remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than the music. And now, I want to hear from you. This story has taken us through twists, betrayals, and shocking secrets. But what do you believe? Do you think Brandy really caught Ray J and Beyoncé together? Do you believe the tape exists, or is this just another Hollywood myth designed to keep fans talking? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, don't hold back. Tell me, if the tape ever sees the light of day, will it ruin Beyoncé's empire forever? Or will she and Jay-Z come out stronger than ever? And where does Ray J stand in all of this? Genius master manipulator or reckless instigator? Make sure you hit that like button if this story had you hooked from start to finish, and subscribe to the channel for even more explosive jaw-dropping Hollywood scandals. Turn on that notification bell because trust me, the next bombshell could drop at any moment. And you don't want to miss it. Until next time. Stay tuned, stay ready, and remember, in the world of fame and power, secrets never stay buried for long. Secrets never stay buried for long.